This is Pre-Calculus Part 1, Section 4.2, Trig Functions, the unit circle, on page 484, Example 7, using periodic properties. The periodic properties means how long till it starts repeating. So, for example, for A, sine of 9 pi over 4, sine repeats every 2 pi. So that's why they're showing you right here. They basically took out the 2 pi because every time it hits pi over 4 plus 2 pi, so 9 pi, 17 pi over 4, you could just keep adding 2 pi and that value is always going to be the same. So the sine of pi over 4 is exactly the same as 9 pi over 4. So you can take the 2 pi out and then you're back in the circle. That's why I call it being back in the circle and knowing that value if you know your circle. So off the circle, the sine of pi over 4 is square root of 2 over 2. Don't always reach for the calculator because the calculator can't do the square root of 2 over 2 for you. And if they want the exact answer, the decimal is not correct. It's rounded. Okay? Tangent of negative 5 pi over 4. Remember that the period for tangent and cotangent is only pi. Negative, you have to remember which ones are even and which ones are odd. Tangent is odd, so that means that the tangent of this one is the same as the negative of the tangent of the positive one. Being odd means you can take that negative and move it out front. Okay? Everything is odd except for cosine and cotangent, I believe. Trying to remember. Yeah, cosine and cotangent, that's right. So the tangent of negative 5 pi over 4 is the same as the negative of tangent 5 pi over 4. And 5 pi over 4 is the same as pi over 4 plus pi, remembering that the tangent is periodic at pi, not 2 pi. So we can take out the pi, and it's going to be the same as the negative tangent of pi over 4. The tangent of pi over 4 off the circle is 1, so that would be negative 1. Okay, and then the checkpoint, it wants cotangent of 5 pi over 4. So for cotangent, it's the period is also pi, so we're going to take a pi out of there. So 5 pi over 4, I have no idea why there's a negative there. It's not negative 5 pi over 4, so I'm not sure why there's a negative there. Sorry. Darn it. Okay, so the cotangent of 5 pi over 4 is the same as pi over 4 plus pi. So that makes it the cotangent of pi over 4, same thing as 5 pi over 4. And that is positive 1. Again, I'm not sure why I put the negative in there. So really, this doesn't need to be there. 5 pi over 4 is the same as pi plus pi over 4, and since cotangent, the period is pi, you can just take that out. For the second part, cosine of negative 9 pi over 4, got carried away with those negatives last time, cosine is even, which means the negative actually goes away. The cosine of negative 9 pi over 4 is the same as the cosine of 9 pi over 4. Remember I said the only ones that are even are cosine and cotangent. So 9 pi over 4, the period of cosine is 2 pi, so we want to take out a 2 pi. So 9 pi over 4, the cosine of 9 pi over 4 is going to be the same as the cosine of pi over 4, which is square root of 2 over 2. Okay, so by knowing what the period is and what you can take out, you can get it back onto the circle. And believe me, if you have that circle memorized, it is so much easier. I recommend that you memorize your circle.